Dimitria. Lambda. Alrighty then, we are going to take a look at Apollo 13. I'm not usually a fan of Ron Howard's movies. There's something about them that just comes off as a little autopilot, from the way it's shot to the way the actors are directed and just the story in general. We're just gonna give you, the bare minimum of what we're gonna give you. This one is one of his better films, in my opinion. I think it's far better than A Beautiful Mind. Watching this film makes me realize where we have been with action films and where we started from the 90s, that sort of late 90s sort of thing, towards now. The way it's paced, formatted, and the way we give characters certain amounts of time and the time we give to scenes. What I mean by that is this is a film that is a big, epic film. It's not an action movie, but it's got a little bit of action. It's more of a thriller sort of based thing, but it has a lot of characters all in different locations. And this is something that I find just screams Independence Day. Independence Day came the year after this, and you can definitely tell that it's like, oh, Apollo 13, but we're on Earth, but it has space aliens. So where are we at? We are on the Apollo 13 mission. We are about to go to the moon once again. Only there's a malfunction, and the whole objective now is to be able to bring back the three of them, these three astronauts, all in one piece. So Tom Hanks is the person we start with, only he's not the first person we see. He comes in from the background, kind of strange, but we follow him and his family, and we're supposed to be on their side. We're supposed to be on board with him. We're supposed to feel so bad for this family when they go up there. There's that feeling of anxiety, that pride, that trepidation, venturing off into the unknown, that they won't make it back, that there was an accident going on with this other Apollo mission. And I find there's not enough time dedicated to this family. We're given more time to the daughter listening to Somebody to Love and the Beatles breaking up, oh god, because it takes place in '69. Why are we focusing on that? It's cute little background, but we are given a scene with Tom Hanks and his son. The son has that cliche thing of bringing up this dire, serious issue, but is so precious and innocent that he doesn't quite understand. And he has that stone-faced expression that I guess all kids have. That happens, and it's kind of performed kind of standard, and we're not given a lot of time to it. And this is a great setup. You have the mother listening to it away from the room, outside of the room. What do? You have her react just at the bare minimum. Out of all the emotions that should be coming out of this experience, you only have mild sadness. That does not seem right to me. I love Tom Hanks like everybody else. I think honestly Bill Paxton and Kevin Bacon kind of outclass him, and that's not to say Tom Hanks is anywhere near bad. When he wants to be pissed off, he's pissed off. When he's endearing, he's endearing. The thing is that who is he? What is his personality? What is he like as a, fuck you, George. What is he like as a person? Fuck off. I got a little bit more of that out of Kevin Bacon, that this is someone who, the first time we sort of see him, he's kind of with this girl, and then right when he's in it, he is super calculating, super calm and reserved. It's going over here, we're going over here. I think I seem to get that. With Bill Paxton, we get a sort of haggard type where you can kind of recognize this type of guy in a lot of your older relatives who are from this era. When he gets sick, when he's trying to get through on the ship, when things are getting colder and all that, I thought there was a lot more with him, because I feel like I've met these types of guys. You know how they react, the way they talk. With Tom Hanks, I didn't quite get that. All I know is that he was a family man. Yeah, I think you could have done more with the family. You could have dedicated more time, but even the time they give to you, there's a part where they're having that meeting where it's like she's not gonna show up to it, oh no, and then she all of a sudden comes at the last minute. This is them, and there's like that pathway right here. They're just fucking looking at each other, really? But what I'm trying to say about it being very Independence Day-ish and kind of influencing the modern action film, we're given a lot of scenes to the NASA crew. Again, this is something I despise in a lot of action films, where you just have a bunch of people in white button shirts and you just have the garage general, oh, we gotta check over here, we gotta check over here. Oh, let's go walk around with this tracking shot. And they're just gonna talk about a bunch of technical shit that no one cares about. It is so tired, it's so boring. But I think the actors they chose to be in this NASA crew really sell it. You sort of get that these people, though a lot of them are young, that they are experienced, they are smart as all fuck, they have incredible problem solving skills, great collaboration skills, they're not sleeping even when people are telling them to go to sleep, they just can't because this mission is so vital, it's so important. All of these crew members are excellent, especially like Lauren Dean and Ed Harris. These people are so into it, they're so invested, and they feel like real people. These personalities are in this action and they're concerned about this problem. When you cut from them to the spaceship, they're surprisingly more interesting than the people on the ship. When you're in this environment, it could be claustrophobic, but they sort of fool around with it that it's kind of a little whimsical, but then it could be really uncomfortable. When they go through that tunnel, it's an impressive effect, but the thing is that what am I supposed to kind of get out of that tunnel? It's filmed in such a way you can't really identify with what they're experiencing. I mean, the actors are doing the best they can, but I think you could have filmed it in a certain way to go, okay, I'm supposed to be uncomfortable here, I'm supposed to be all wondrous and imaginative. I honestly think Gravity, when she's in the ship, it's done a little better. I think it's because these shots are a little bit more open. I think it was due to the lighting that made it feel more tangible. I was able to get more into that ship. So like a lot of action films, we're going from the ship, the big action parts, main heroes who are in it. Then you have the side characters, who's usually the army, or in this case NASA, the crew, coordinating the whole thing. You have the family looking over it, just constantly watching the TV. And then we cut to this, I don't know, Boy Scout character who's, every time you cut to him, he's just going like this. There's so many moments like that where it's like, okay, look, you don't need this many locations in this movie. This movie could have been like 110 minutes tops. You could shave like a good half hour out of this film. And I think you could have done better. Though that sounds kind of counterproductive, saying any more of the family, but it's just like, pick someone that we can follow. Either have it all in the ship or cut to people who are interesting, like the crew. But with the crew, you're there for a reasonable amount of time, and then we're constantly cutting to a lot of these supporting characters who are away from the action. We're not with them enough to be invested in. And this seems to be a problem for me with a lot of action films, is that there's so many characters and we're trying to make this feel bigger. It's like, no, to make it feel big, you need big emotions. So you gotta do less characters. The two best things that are in this film is this reaction from the NASA crew. The two best things in this film is that final shot of the NASA crew reacting to something. I think you're gonna be able to predict what it is, but it's this very wide shot and they are reacting. That was a big wow. It is a circumstance that these types of characters who are in that headquarters room usually have in these action movies, but usually when it happens, you feel nothing because these people are just cutouts. But when you know these people and you know how desperately they want what they want, it feels so accomplishing. And the other thing that is great about this film is the pacing. Like I said, I feel kind of like a hypocrite for saying this, like with the, taking out characters and taking out some of the running time. But the thing is that it does feel like this is paced really fluently. I was kind of shocked when they get on the ship, basically no, when they encounter the problem, when that sort of gas thing blows up, the pacing all feels right. It feels patient, it feels fluent, and it feels big. And once the sort of climax ends, it felt like a long but warranted and well-earned adventure. So I think there's something to respect about that. Overall, I thought it was okay. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Who are we? Who are you? I'll see you next time.